Well, hello, my darlings. How are we doing this fine evening? It is Nico Iona from Gypsy Juice Intuitive Tarot. I am here with your pick a card, pick a spirit animal, collective energy reading for this week. My readings have been getting a little farther and farther apart. Been a little bit run ragged. Sorry about that. Sorry about the delay. I am so excited to be here, though, and give you your next reading. And as we always do, I am going to draw two spirit animals out of this beautiful painting deck here, and you are going to pick the one that most resonates with you, the one that you find the most attractive, or the animal that you like the most. Maybe look at the colors you're drawn to, read between the lines a little bit, have the ears to hear, have the eyes to see, and I promise there will be a beautiful message that will resonate with you if you're open to it. I promise you that. All right, and I hope everybody's new year has been going well so far. I think it's been, oh my goodness, at least over a week since I made a video. Since. All right, gotta get that throat chakra opened up, you know what I mean? We'll see how it goes here. All right, so I'm going to pick two out of this. All right, let's see. There's one and two. Okay, what do we got? All right, beautiful. Okay, so I'm going to hold these up, and you are going to pick your favorite one. And for each corresponding card, I'm going to do a reading. So you might be drawn to both. You might be drawn specifically to one or the other. And just take a really good look at those, and I'm going to tell you what they are as well. So this top one is going to be the dove, of course. And that first and foremost, it represents peace. And I believe, this is so funny, so many synchronicities all the time, every day. So peace, the dove actually it's the symbol that was known to carry the branch of olives. The olive branch is a symbol of peace. You see it all over the place. It's sort of like that peace offering. It also represents, according to this card, so in addition to peace, sexuality and divine inspiration. So sort of picking up things quickly because you're passionate about them. So that's one thing, and that could be kind of a creative energy right there if you're drawn to that card as well. So long been associated with female sexuality. This card is so about all the feminine energy, or this deck is so about feminine energy. It's funny. But they're great cards. They're awesome. So the other thing that says about it is divine inspiration, linked to reproduction, I guess. So in place of the stork, the dove, I suppose, in this particular teaching. So in Greek mythology, Aphrodite, the goddess of love, was born from the egg nurtured by a dove. How very interesting. So it's sort of that very, very divine feminine power, kind of representing the divine feminine, which also, of course, is kind of a symbol of like peace offerings, making peace, all of that other stuff. And this second card is going to be the caribou. So if you're drawn to that one, this one, so let me catch up on this real quick. So it's the cycle of life, rebirth, and abundance, all right? So kind of related to the buffalo with the abundance bit. Cycle of life I'm seeing here, this is very, very related to reincarnations. So it's reincarnation, cycle of life. Let's see, caribou returned to the indigenous peoples, to them each season, so did their souls return to earth after each death. So this is a big, huge card about coming back and recognizing things, recognizing other people. And also, it mentions on this card, within his body, there's a polar bear, ox, ram, and a goose. So it's kind of that message of, oh, we're all connected and we come back in different forms. So what I'm getting out of this is sort of a message to sort of understand that universal oneness, that whole, oh, I've experienced things from a different perspective, even if I can't necessarily remember it, but it's the card of past life reincarnation message here. So whichever one you're drawn to, I hope you know which one it is. They're both pretty cool there. Lots of stuff going on in both of those. We're going to start out with the dove. So the peace, and feminine sexuality, and again the rebirth. There's a lot of rebirth cards in here. It's a very this deck is woke AF, man. I tell you what, it's all about that rebirth, all about that reinvention, figuring out, you know, how to reinvent, how to figure it out. So, okay, we're starting off with the Dove. I am going to start out with pulling a couple of these shamanic tarot cards that follow the traditional suit. Let's see what it has to say. So let's see. So peace. We might be kind of stepping back and seeing, you know, unnecessary quarrels, things like that. You know, just choosing to walk a path in life that's a little more peaceful. Like no more struggling, no more fighting, you know, it all starts with the inner peace, okay? Before you can externalize that. So let's see what it has to say in your energy reading. We're going to do this real freestyle. Whatever kind of comes. I don't really focus on a specific thing. A lot of readers will be like, okay, this is your love and relationship reading. This is your career reading. This is your what have you reading. I just kind of take it where it goes, where it says it's going to go, ooh, that flipped in and out. So I'm just going to take note of that Queen of Wands in inverse. So that's, okay, so just like I said before, so your first message of this reading is just be mindful of being rigid, not being adaptable. That's the whole kind of like that unforgiving sort of, this is the way it is, it's black and white. This person crossed my boundaries, they disrespected me, or they said something I didn't like, or they did this or that, and I'm unforgiving about it. And it's kind of the message to sort of open up your mind and calm yourself down and not be such a stickler about things. And I'm not devaluing drawing boundaries, because sometimes that's very important. But it's sort of a message to step back and be a little bit adaptable and maybe a little more empathetic about how other people might be viewing things from their perspective. Whoa, and there goes my video. Oh no! Oh my gosh. Oh, technical difficulties. Okay. All right. There we go. Oh, that was a little unsteady. Okay. Woo, we good. All right, so first one that comes up, Six of Drums. Okay, this is the card of music. It's also, this is funny, I was doing a reading for somebody earlier today. This specifically in this deck, because I had to look it up because it was popping out so much. See, these, they all come out. Things come in waves, these energy waves. It always happens. I'm going to go off on a little tangent here and tell you a little story. So this card, I'll start off with, it's facilities through communication. Through sound, through understanding and relating to someone through communication. And it's also the card of music. But what I was about to tell you with my first experience with synchronicities, and it was way before, many years before I was ever very conscious about it, was 12 years old at one of my first jobs. Because I did housekeeping too, littler than that. But I used to operate a switchboard. And it would be, you know, one of those big old school calling boards. I had all the buttons on it, and there would be 5 lines. And it just blew my mind. Every single day I'd be at work, I would have anxiety about the call coming in because I didn't quite know how to answer the phone. I'd be fumbly and awkward and, you know, kind of like I am now at the beginning of the reading, but even worse. So I would answer, I would be anticipating the phone call, and I'd be like, okay, it's cool. I just have to talk to one person at a time. Oh, every time the phone rang, as soon as I'd answer, there'd be another call coming in. Waves of energy, right? So it's just, there's weight in that saying, when it rains, it pours. So it's energies. Or if you've ever worked in a restaurant, all the tables come in at one time, right? Even if it's an odd time of the day, when you don't even think people are going to come in for a meal, there's 3 tables that appear at once. And that's because, I can't explain it specifically because I don't truly understand it. Every day that goes by, I'm like, I don't know anything. But what I do know is that there's waves of energy, right? It's synchronicities. It's just like this dove thing. What do we need right now? We need peace. We need peace on this planet. We need peace in our society. We are one. We need to be able to relate to each other. How do we relate to each other? We relate to each other through open and honest communication. So what our job is, it doesn't matter what anyone else is doing, as long as you're laying what what is honest in your heart out on the table, you've done your job. Okay? And you know what's honest in your heart. It's not to please anybody else. It's diving deep, doing that inner work and understanding how to relate to someone else with true empathy and communicating in a way that's authentic and genuine. All right? So that's your first message, doves, of communication. It's also, man, again, this is tying right in. This isn't the caribou reading because this is the card of past lives, but this is also a big past life card. So this is souls you've known before, communicating with them honestly. And a lot of the time when you've known somebody in past lives, even if you just met them yesterday, there's going to be a lot of triggers. Like whatever they do is going to upset you. And you're going to know what I'm talking about if you know what I'm talking about. As soon as you look in someone's eyes or you sense their presence or you're around them for a minute, and you get that funny feeling of, man, I know you, but I know I've never seen you in my life before. Maybe not in this 35, 45, 25, 53 years, but I know I've met you before. And that's, I really feel like there's something to that. It's just an inner knowing, a very deep recognition. So whatever they're going to say, to go off of what I said before, is going to trigger you. It's going to pop out some uncomfortable things, because from how I see it, my take on this is you sort of have limited patience with this person already, because it's obviously going to be a pattern. There's patterns everywhere. And whatever problems you're having with them now, you have with them in the past, of whatever realm you dealt with them with in the past, whether it's the astral realm and the dream state, whether it's a past life. It's just, you're going to have this weird feeling of familiarity. And whatever they do, if it sets you off, it's going to set you off tenfold. And you're going to go kind of nuts, even though you're like, man, I feel like I'm usually not this tightly wound, but this person kind of brought it out in me. And they made me, I mean, they didn't make me, but I did behave in this way because I was feeling some kind of way, and I don't even know where it came from. So this card, this is a hope. This is the path of the stars. And this is just the message, just to not lose faith or lose hope. If you're disappointed about the way a situation came out, especially in regard to communication, it's just telling you, don't get down about that. Don't dwell on little details, because we're all exactly where we need to be. If something popped up and you behaved a certain way, that was a lesson. That's not a death sentence, It's just take it and move on. And as long as you level up in the next time you're triggered or the next time you're challenged, that's your test. You don't worry about what anybody else is doing. You don't worry about the reaction that you get from anyone else. If you're being authentic, you're being authentic, and end of story right there. It's just, that's your message. It's just communication, being, woo, that one popped out. Okay. So we're looking at the 10 of Pentacles in reverse. So that's kind of that material wealth, inheritance. So in reverse, this could be like things falling through, specifically tangible world, financially, things not panning out the way you had thought. Maybe kind of the bottom fell out and it's just, I expected to be a little more flush at this point and I'm not. Or, it's just, I didn't get my pot of gold at the end of the rainbow, or something's not really panning out. I'm not seeing that nest egg there. So that could be causing some anxiety and causing a lack of faith. That's that card in inverse. So sort of a lack of faith, a lack of hope, kind of, which could be disrupting the peace, doves. So that could be a big deal with your sense of peace, with your sense of inner peace, with your sense of peace with other people. So let's see what else we have here. Oh, okay, so 7 of Pentacles. So this is the card of, there's like a new crop to tend to, but I have this crop I worked really hard on. I'm just envisioning this guy with the reaper. He's got this established crop over here, and there's this field over here with more sun, but it's completely unestablished. And he's like, do I go over here, or do I go, and spend energy over here and take away from what I've worked hard for? Or do I do a little of both? Or whatever. So what I'm seeing here is you're kind of faced with a decision of, do I stay where I'm at, or do I move, or can I do both? So it's kind of like a crossroads thing too. But what I'm seeing here, and this card came up in the upright, so it's just your answer is just honest communication here. It's just asking the right questions at the right time, and it's being honest. It's being unafraid to ask for what you need right now. That's super, super important. So let me draw one of these shamanic cards for you, doves. It's just don't lose hope. I'm seeing just kind of a financial decision to be made. And it looks like there's just a conversation that needs to be had in one way or another. And it might be, your inner peace might be at stake. Your outer peace might be at stake in regards to other people and things like that. Okay, so, whoa, okay. Oh. All right, so we got death and we got rattle. Okay, so the death rattle, something's circling the drain. Something is dying. This could be literal, this could be figurative. I'm seeing this mostly with the combination of these cards for this reading as like a career thing or a financial situation, or a combination of a financial situation tied in with somebody else. That's sort of like, what I'm reading here is sort of, it's like releasing attachments. That's what this card is about. Releasing attachments, and I'm seeing here related to financial stuff. And the rattle, I'm just taking that really literally, like it's the death rattle, it's that circle in the drain thing. But this card specifically relates to ritual. So if you want to take that a little more literally, it's sort of like figure out where your energy is going. Be careful about what you're manifesting, because what you're focusing on, where your eyes go, like if you've ever been skiing, where your eyes go, that's where your body's going to go. So the same thing with your thoughts. What you're thinking about, that's ultimately going to snowball and it's going to manifest. So watch those thoughts, understand, and if you must, do a ritual. I mean, it's like take up some innocent witchcraft. I'm not even kidding. It's just light a candle with intention, take a bath, meditate, do what you need to do. All right, or take a walk with one intention, with a mantra that you repeat over and over again. And sometimes the hardest part of that is figuring out what you want. So it's sort of like like I said, the Seven of Pentacles thing. You need to figure out what is the best possible outcome. And, what's the best possible outcome for you financially, but also what is it, and this is another, the drums of the Pentacles. So this is very tied in with your financial stability. Unfortunately, it's just like, this is material. This is the hierarchy of needs, right? This is the base of the pyramid. You need to be careful here. You need to figure out what you need to focus on. All right. So it's just keep the peace, figure out, don't lose faith or hope, because it's all going to be in the key of your communication here. But first you have to decide what you want to do. You have to decide what you want to do, and you have to be honest about it. And it's just, if you're dealing with people you're very familiar with, be careful of those triggers, because it's just, try to deal with them as if you've never even had an experience with them before. That's the best way. It's the most effective. I know it's kind of out there in sort of a spiritually concept, but it's take somebody, and even if you have all these pent up emotions about them or whatever else, it's sort of like clean the slate and come at them as though you've never had any interaction with them before, like they're a complete stranger. How would I treat a complete stranger right now as if this were fresh and new? So that's kind of a really good hack to overcome the triggers of falling into pitfalls that you wouldn't want to fall into being triggered otherwise. So doves, keep the peace. It's all about, from this reading, it's like, should I move on onto other brighter pastures? I'm seeing, not my financial results here that I was expecting. Something circling the drain. Communication is going to happen. It's coming up. I'm triggered. I've lost hope. But it's just, as long as you're authentic, it's going to come out. It's just the best thing you can do right now is be authentic. That's what I can say about that. So Caribou. Okay, so we're talking about past lives here again. All right, I'm going to start out with this Art Nouveau deck for the Caribous. All right, Caribou. So we got this returning to Earth after the death. I'm big on the theory of we have all these life cycles until you don't have to come back, and it's all about, you know, walking that oh man, the Knight of Pentacles again, but just in this deck. So it's sort of like letting it unfold, but it came out in reverse when it popped out. So it's sort of this general energy of impatience so far. So let's see here. It's like kind of this disillusionment, maybe a little bit of boredom, because I'm getting impatient with trying to let things unfold. They're unfolding too slowly. It's happening too slowly. Here we go. Two popped out. Okay, let's see. Okay, Hermit. It's a deep inner work. It's just kind of like a disillusionment with that. I'm going to go off of that. Knight of Pentacles in reverse, Hermit in reverse. It's sort of, I'm getting this cabin fever energy here. This cabin fever vibe. This just, I have spent so many hours in solitude trying to reflect on what exactly went wrong, what went right. It's whatever else. And here's the Three of Pentacles, like that whole like working stride thing going on. It's just like, I'm weary. This has been tedious. This is I've done my inner work. I'm at a plateau. I don't even know where to go. What even is the difference between my intuition and you know, falsities right now? What's the difference with that? Okay, that flipped up the the Knave of Bones, the Knave of Wands. So that's sort of, yeah, inaction, and it came out in verse. So it's like an inaction. It's like I said, the plateau. What did I say? So I'm at a plateau. I'm tired of doing this inner work. It's tedious. It's grueling. I'm not coming to any conclusions. I'm not making any progress. But you are. You need to kind of step back. I saw one of these memes with this girl climbing a mountain, and her face is directly in the face of this cliff, and she can't see anything beyond it. All she's looking at is this rock face, and beyond her is this beautiful valley, this gorgeous view down below her. And it was just some kind of message. I'm gonna butcher it, but it was some message along the lines of step back and see how far you've climbed. You know, so it's just, I'm getting this sense, Caribous, that you're beating your head against the wall. It's because it's just, I've been through this so many times. And however spiritual you want to take this is up to you. But to me, how I'm reading this is like, I have been through so many reincarnations, and I'm getting so much deja vu, and I'm seeing this. I've been here before. I've walked these floors. I've seen these walls. I know this person. I know that person. They did the exact same thing. I did the exact same thing, maybe. And I'm frustrated. And it's just like, okay, I've retreated into solitude. I'm trying to do my inner work, and I'm hitting a freaking wall. And it's taking too long, is what I'm seeing here. So let's get some advice. Wow, that really spewed out. Okay, there's that devil. He's there to visit us. Be careful of those addictions right now. Okay, that's the most easy escape when you're feeling like this, Caribous. Like it's it is the most easy, the most simple way to get out of experiencing these emotions is any kind of addiction. We're talking gambling, we're talking shopping, we're talking sex, anything. I mean, heroin. I hope you're not a heroin addict, but any kind of addiction that you can fall into for escape is going to pop up right now, because you feel weary, you feel like you've had it, you feel like the stuffing has been beaten out of you, okay? So that's just a warning of like that whole devil whispering in your ear, and it's like, hey, want to take a break? I got the perfect thing for you. I know exactly what you like, and it's waiting right here. It's 3 seconds away. All right, so this is just kind of the warning. So let me see. I asked for an advice card, please. I asked for an advice card. Come on, babe, why don't we paint the town? Da, da, da. Oh, advice. Oh, come on, man. Come on. That's not... Oh, my God. Freaking double hermit. Okay, so what is it? It kind of slipped out into my hand. I had to listen. That's the number 9. So in this deck, it's the Seeker of Souls. So it's just, that is your contact from the spiritual realm. If you have had an awakening, you know that solitude, you already know that solitude is the most important thing to understand what is going on your journey, what's going on your path. And what I'm getting here is you cannot be afraid of it. And in that solitude, you can't be weak. You can't lay your guard down and let this stuff influence you. I'm not saying you can't just let loose a little bit, because unless it's heroin, all right, I'm just saying. But if it's anything like little, I don't know, it's okay to buy a scratch ticket. It's okay to maybe have a drink or two. But if you find yourself vomiting all night, or you can't pay your rent because you just went to the casino and blew all your money at a blackjack table, that's where this comes in. That's where this warning is. So it's just like, if you must have a little bit of release, everything in moderation, including moderation. I love that. I'll preach that till the day I die. But solitude is still of the utmost importance right now. It's very important. Double hermit. Oh my God. Look at this. Double hermit, Caribou. Well, this one came out upside down. It was upside down and right side up. They're all on the scale. So it's, what I'm seeing here is just this moderation of this solitude, this inner work. It's just like, yes, go in, dive deep, take the inner work, sit with those emotions. It's coming out slow. You already realize that. You already realize it's a deep, slow, pretty painful work. But you got to do it. You got to get through it. Even if there's little slip ups and whatever else, solitude's your key. So that's what I'm seeing for you, Caribous. It's just, you don't want to come back here. You want to go around another round of the merry-go-round of these same lessons again and again and again, because you're recognizing them. You are definitely recognizing them. With all this, oh, are you ever? So it's just like, how many times do I need to repeat this lesson? Well, until you learn them, and until you're able to cut off other energies that are infringing upon you learning those. So if you're using other people or lower vibrational energies as a means of escape to get your mind off of this, to not face what's going on in here and in here, and in your whole soul in general, it's just going to prolong all these lessons. I hate to say it, but it's true. So just one more from this deck, please, and then one shamanic card, and then that fell right out. Okay. Yeah, that Five of Swords. Okay, so in this deck, so this is the stand up for yourself cards too. It's just, but what I'm seeing here is stand up for yourself to yourself with the combination of these, because this is this whole act of wearing so many masks in the world. It's just, I got to behave this way in front of these people, and I got to behave this way in this environment and all this other stuff. Here's your message here, okay? It's that authenticity. It's becoming the person that can be themselves in every single situation they're involved in, without shame, without any kind of holdback. This is about being who you are no matter who you're around. And I know that's not the way the 3D programming is. I know that's not the way society is constructed, and that's not the way we have been conditioned or indoctrinated to behave in this world. However, what I'm telling you right now, this is your message. You're on a pretty grueling path right now, because you've been here so many times, and it's about hitting that stride of authenticity. It's just see, here he is in the middle of the mirror, and he's himself. And look again, these past lives. It's just like, look, I've been all these different roles. I've been all these people. This is tying right into that caribou thing with that reincarnation thing too. What have I learned? How can I integrate this? And you don't have to have specific memories or whatever, but a lot of this is going to come through the dream state too. And, people that you've known before are going to come to you repeatedly in dreams. I've had that happening personally a lot. Just, you're going to know when you've run into a soul, and they're also running into you in dreams as well, especially if it happens repeatedly. So just keep that in mind. It's hard to remember them, but your brain erases a dream 7 seconds. It only takes 7 seconds after you wake up. But if it's really profound, trust me, you're going to remember bits and pieces of it. And it might even come back to you in the middle of the day. So just remember that. Wow! Okay. Nice. Walking meditation and smudge. Okay, so this is about energy clearing. This is about shifting up your energy, shifting up your perspective. It's, what did I say in the first reading? That walking meditation, that go on a walk and repeat a mantra with an intention. Go on a walk with a specific intention, or if it's yoga that's your thing, or a workout, or something, if you go on a run, go with an intention. Set your intention for that and filter all your energy into that. Just say, hey, this is where I want my energy to go, and I'm working toward this. This is where I'm filtering it to come out with this better result. Then this smudge thing, represents clearing energy. So if you're burning sage, so it's interesting, there's actually a meaning behind burning white sage. It actually literally killed the bacteria in the air. So there's actually a medical cause for burning white sage. It actually did prevent, like flu viruses and things like that. But this is just saying, Palo Santo, cedar, cleansing smoke. So it can really clear the air, and scents are very powerful too. So it's just in order to not carry all this mental baggage and wear all these masks and worry and then get sucked into addictions, we're going to want to clear our energy. So if you're in a heavy space, especially if your house, even if you're not in the mood to clean your house, get out and take a walk and come back. You're going to feel like a completely different person. I promise. I do it all the time. I've been doing that for years. It's just, and even if you don't have that hit of energy when you come back to clean it out, it's still going to help you. So it's all about that energy clearing, that walking meditation, clear that space. And that really goes very, very well with that solitude, caribous. So anyway, this mask wearing thing, and I promise you, these people that you've been running into, and these the reincarnation bit and all of that other stuff, they see right through those masks. So that could be some of the triggers that are popping up too. Just kind of a little bit of food for thought there. So I hope you enjoyed the reading, both Caribou and Dove. So we're keeping the peace, and we're not going to want to go around the merry-go-round again. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed it, and happy late New Year. Hope everybody's having a great January and staying warm. Thanks for watching. Bye.